Welcome back to my YouTube channel DigiLearner. In today's video lesson, we shall discuss about Fundamental Rights lesson part 2. In previous lesson, we have already discussed about the right to equality and right to freedom. In present lesson, we shall discuss about right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies in detail. First of all, we shall discuss about right against exploitation. The main objectives of these fundamental rights is to make exploitation-free India. No individual will be exploited in any kind under these rights. First, we shall discuss about prohibition of traffic in human being or forced labor on Article 23. Article 23 prohibits traffic in human being, beggar or forced labor and other similar form of forced labor. Any contravention of this provision shall be an offence punishable in accordance with law. The expression traffic in human being includes selling and buying of men, women and children like goods. Next, immoral traffic in women, children including prostitution, devadasi and slavery. So this type of traffic in human being is prohibited in Indian Constitution. Secondly, prohibition of employment of children in factories, that is Article 24. Article 24 prohibits the employment of children below the age of 14 years in any factory, mines or other hazardous activities like construction work or railways. The Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 is the most important law in this direction. The Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 2016. This act prohibits the employment of children below the 14 years in all occupational processes. Next is the right to freedom of religion. The Indian Constitution provides right to freedom of religion to all individuals. So, India is a secular state, hence the Constitution of India provides right to freedom of religion to all citizens and all individuals also. The right to freedom of religion deals with the Article 25 to 28. First of all, we shall discuss about Article 25. Freedom of conscience, profession, practice and propagation of religion, Article 25. Article 25 says that all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience and the right to freely profess, practice, propagate religion, any religion of his or her discretion. The implication of these rights are freedom of conscience means inner freedom of an individual to mold his relation with God or creature in whatever way he desires. Right to profess means declaration of one's religious belief and faith openly and freely. Right to practice performance of religious worship, rituals, ceremonies and exhibits of beliefs and ideas. Right to propagate transmission or dissemination of one's religious belief to others. Next, freedom to manage religious affairs. According to Article 26, every religious denomination or any kind of its section shall have the following rights. Right to establish and maintain institutions for religious and charitable purposes. Right to manage its own affairs in matter of religions. The right to own and acquire movable and immovable property, and right to administer such property in accordance with law. Next, freedom from taxation or promotion of religion. That is Article 27. Article 27 lays down that no person shall be compelled to pay any taxes for the promotion of or maintenance of any particular religion or religious denomination. In other words, the state should spend the public money collected by way a tax for the promotion of or maintenance of any particular religion. This provision prohibits the state from favoring, patronizing, supporting one religion over the others. Next, freedom from attending religious instruction. Under Article 28, no religious instruction shall be provided in any educational institution wholly maintained out of state fund. However, this provision shall not apply to an educational institution administered by the state but established under any endowment or trust requiring imparting of religious instruction in such institution. Next, cultural and educational rights. First, protection of interest of minorities. That is Article 29. Article 29 provides that any section of citizen residing in any part of India having a distinct language, script or culture of its own shall have the right to conserve the same. Further, no citizen shall be denied admission into any education institution maintained by the state or receiving aid out of the state fund on grounds only of religion, race, caste, or language. Article 29 grants protection to both religious minority as well as linguistic minorities. Next, right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. Article 30 grants some rights to minority, whether religious or linguistic. All minorities shall have the right to establish or administer education institutions of their own choice. In granting aid, the state shall not discriminate against any educational institution managed by a minority. Thus, the protection under Article 30 is confined only to minorities or religious or linguistic. However, the term minority has not been defined anywhere in the Constitution. The right under Article 30 also includes the right of minority to impart education to its children in its own language. Then, right to constitutional remedies. A mere discussion of fundamental rights in the Constitution is meaningless, useless, ruthless, without providing an effective machinery for their enforcement. If and when they are violated, hence Article 32 confers the right to remedies for the enforcement of fundamental rights of the aggrieved citizen. This right, the fundamental rights, is real. This is why Dr. Ambedkar called Article 32 as the most important article of the Constitution, an article without which the Constitution would be nullity. It is the very soul of Constitution and the very heart of it. It contains the following four provisions. The right to move the Supreme Court by appropriate proceeding for the enforcement of fundamental rights is granted. The Supreme Court shall have the power to issue direction or orders or writs for the enforcement of any of fundamental rights. The writs issued may include habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, statutory, and coerent. So we have discussed about the fundamental rights, all 6 fundamental rights. In next video lesson, we shall discuss the trick to memorize easily, how the chapter of fundamental rights memorize easily, trick of understanding the chapter of fundamental easily, we shall discuss in next video lesson. Thank you very much. Thank you.